Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Nicole from Nicole's Journal, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I made my March bullet journal setup. Before showing the actual setup, I wanted to flip through the month of February to show you what I did. The theme was constellations, so I incorporated a lot of stars and dots connected with lines so they looked like constellations. And I kept it really simple with the color theme with only black and white. So to start, I printed brown texture on top of regular copy paper and I cut it in half with my paper trimmer, and here is where I'm going to be doing my titles for the month. I'm using a black Tombow marker to do the lettering, which is just a regular brush lettering font. And as you can see by my shaky lines, I am by no means an expert doing brush lettering, but I fix my tiny mistakes with my fine liner, going around the border of the letters, and then I add a lot of embellishments. If you add a lot of embellishments like white dots or white lines or reflections and stuff like that, it will make the lettering look way better even if you are not an expert doing the actual letters. So when I'm done adding the embellishments and adding all of the little details, it actually looks like I know what I'm doing. So when I was done with the titles, I tear the paper so that each title was an individual piece, and the only time that I actually used scissors to cut the pieces was when I knew that the piece was going to be on the edge of the notebook, so I wanted a flat edge to align it to the notebook. After I had all of my titles cut as individual pieces, I used my Create Sticker Max machine to make sticker out of them so that I could stick them on my journal easier than using double-sided tape. I know I could have used sticker paper, but I wanted to use regular copy paper so that the paper was not as thick, because I find that when I use regular sticker paper, the paper is too thick, and when I'm writing on the other side of the notebook I feel bumps because of the stickers. So I wanted to try to use regular copy paper, which is only 20 pounds, to see if that could make it so that it's not as uncomfortable to write on the other side. So I'll see how it turns out. And the final thing that I needed for the setup was to draw a lot of butterfly doodles, because I'm using them as stickers to decorate the pages of the planner. The theme for this month is actually quite special because I'm doing a collaboration with MyLifeinaBullet, JennyJournals and ChristineMyLyhn, and we all came together and decided that a good theme for this month is spring memories. So basically decorating our journals with something that is related to what spring means to us. And in my case, I live in the Dominican Republic and we don't get snow here, so the flowers and everything is technically blooming all the time, or at least they never die, similar to how they do in colder countries. But when the winter came, most of the butterflies and all of the bugs would go, I guess, hiding or something, because I wouldn't see as many. But when spring came, I would start seeing a lot of butterflies flying around the flowers. So I definitely wanted to incorporate these memories in my journal. So when you're done watching my video, make sure to go check their videos out so you get even more inspiration on what to do in your journal. So going back to the setup itself, you just saw me making the cover of the month, and this is the style that I'm going to be using for the whole setup. Basically, I'm taking the titles and I'm putting them on the journal first, and then I'm adding the butterflies. This creates an effect that makes it look like the butterflies are flying on top of the titles, which is what I wanted to create. And for the first page of the month is technically the same as what I did for February, but I added a section for important dates so that I can write down events and dates that I have to remember during the month, so I don't have to go to my future log to remind myself of what is going on during the month. The other difference is that I have my habit tracker alone instead of having it with my mood tracker, and the reason why I did that is because I wrote habit tracker too big. I actually wanted to fit them both in the same page, but as you can see, the title is just too big. But it actually worked out really well because it gave me the opportunity to decorate the tracker with a lot of butterflies, and I did something really cool with my mood tracker that I'm going to show you really soon. And right after putting down the butterflies, I went ahead to put the gratitude journal, completely forgetting about drawing my habit boxes. But when I turned the page to cut the excess of the title, I saw that I didn't draw it, and I did it. So to track the habits, I'm using a rectangle divided into 31 squares and then a space for the name of the habit. And as always, like in every setup that I make, I always make a silly mistake, and this time was that I made the vertical lines too long for the first habit. But it didn't turn out that bad because I took each letter of the word drawing, which is the first habit, and I just put each one of them in one box, and it turned out like it was something that I was intending to do, but no, it was a silly mistake. Besides the habits, I also wrote a quote that is supposed to read, "Without change there would be no butterflies," but instead I wrote butterflies, I think. I don't know what was going on with me. And this is the part where my cell phone ran out of storage, so I couldn't record myself putting down stickers for all of the spreads, but I did record myself coloring some of the butterflies so you can see how I did it. Basically, I took 4 colors from my Tombow brush pens and I colored in the wings of the butterflies. How I did it is that I first colored in the whole wing, and then I went to certain spots and I added more color because I wanted it to look kind of like a watercolor paint. It actually adds a lot of interest if you add some spots with darker color and some spots with lighter color. After I was done with the brush markers, I went with my white pens and I added a lot of sparkles and white dots, and this actually makes a huge difference to how the butterfly looks. It's the same as the lettering. If you add the dots, it just makes it look really, really neat. Okay, so here is the final setup. I added more butterflies to the cover, and then the 2 other pages are the same as I showed before. I added the butterflies to the gratitude journal, and I put down the titles for my daily pages. Here is where I'm going to be writing down my to-do lists. And this is the cool thing that I did for my mood tracker. I basically made it into an insert that I can move as the month goes on, so I can have it right away where my dailies are. And also I used the butterflies for the tracker. I made it so that each wing represents a day. So I'll be coloring in each wing a day at a time with a color that represents the mood that I am feeling. And I look forward to see how this is going to turn out because I'm really excited. I think it will look really, really cool with all of the colors and basically the butterflies flying around. And the last part of the setup is my monthly calendar. Here I'm using a coloring calendar like I did for February. Inside of it I have a calendar that is my editorial calendar where I wrote down the days that I want to work on YouTube and Instagram, and I also have a YouTube tracker, an Instagram tracker, and a monthly earnings tracker. Finally, the next 2 pages have my videos checklists where I write down things that I have to do to be able to record my videos for YouTube. And before finishing the video, I wanted to let you know that I have free printables of my butterfly stickers. They are available at NICOLE'S so go grab them if you want to use them for your journal. And if you do, please tag me to the pictures that you post on Instagram because I really like seeing you guys use the ideas that I come up with, and it really motivates me to keep creating more content. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell if you want to know when I post the next video.